Mr. Nationwide here. About to walk out of the man cave for a minute. And about to show you a couple things what's going on with Yukon if you just stand by. Yeah, so anyway, I'm talking about a couple of problems I was doing. And this is about a week after the oil change. Okay, well, what the deal is, well, for the last couple days, possibly Wednesday morning, well, the temperature gauge, I'm just hoping that's not what the truck reads right now. But we're going to see, since we're going to put in the truck in the run position. Okay, now it's good as 0. Alright, now we know the engine's cool now. So anyway, the temperature gauge right there on the lower right-hand corner, right here. Okay, usually when it's cold, it starts out at 100 degrees Celsius. Not 100 degrees Fahrenheit, sorry. So it goes in that little dot here. I'm assuming that's 150 degrees. So once it's on that line, it's already warm. It's good to go, especially when it's cold. And then you just use the heater. So just on the way to the freeway, now I've noticed I got an indicator light that goes up here above the tachometer. It says check gauges. Check gauges. So I was thinking, what's going on? Then I look on the temperature gauge. That the needle is right there in that red line, where it says 260 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, holy cows, the truck overheating? And then so I turn off the heater. And then it went a little bit down over that second mark. I don't know what that one is. It went at probably 230 or 245, something like that. Now, and then it was over in the middle at 210. So it goes between maybe 150 to 210, right around that range. But that gauge is like dancing, left and right. So I had to turn off the heater. Now, it's a good thing I got the seat here good. So I was on the freeway, and so the truck made it. Then I looked at the coolant reservoir. And then here's the coolant reservoir. Now, as you see in that last episode where I did the oil change, I did top off with Dexcool. There's no more. And I ran out of Dexcool, so I had to use some water. So I usually fill in that fill line. So once I already reached the destination, well, there's no more left over. Now we're going to look through the radiator cap. And look, there's barely any in there. So, which means I had to go Walmart to get the Dexcool because it's only $14. The other parts stores are almost $20 or more. Yeah. So then the heater core hoses. Shit, it's hard to get to now. Oh, there they are. Those are the heater core hoses right there in the far wall. So looks like I had to block those two sides. Block off those two hoses just so it won't have so much Dexcool dripping around. Possibly get back flushed. Then it hit me that right underneath this plate, that's where the heater core is at. Take off 6 of these bolts there and see if I just back flush them. I mean, that's just the weirdest thing. Yeah. And another thing about Dexcool, you're supposed to change that every 5 years. So yeah, they put the Dexcool right in the factory back in September of 1997. So the first coolant flush will be sometime in 2003. No, not 2003. No, 2002. Sometime around 2002. So it's hard to tell, to keep track of so many owners before me when I did the Carfax port. It's kind of hard to keep track of the coolant flushes. So we might possibly know the last coolant flush had to be sometime, I don't know, 5 years ago. hopefully it'll be 5 years it's been that, so hopefully we're the exact due date. Yeah, so hopefully later on this month we just do the coolant flush, and then might as well change out the heater core, because who knows how old that is. You know, because it's hard to tell when's the last time it's been changed. So most likely I probably had to have Yukon parked for a few days more. Yeah, usually I had it parked from Sunday all until Wednesday. Yeah, but I think I'd be probably not driving it as much. Yeah, I'm just driving the Buick anyway, because that, yeah, chances are, you know, if you're not running enough coolant in the vehicle, so most likely it will overheat. And if it overheats, it might damage the engine. So I don't want to risk that. So after I shut down everything, I just had to go to the garage, get the Buick out, and go get some Dexcool and some water. And just sometime tomorrow, if I have time, maybe try to back flush the heater core, and hopefully this will be a temporary fix. Yeah, well anyway, since we're here, we're going to check underneath the truck, like the oil pan and the cooler lines, to see if there's any leaks, since we put the engine stop leak from Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Well, actually, I think it worked anyway, because it's still clean. There's no oil leaks anywhere. Barely any. So yeah, that's not so bad, especially the front axle is a lot cleaner now. Yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit of driplets, but it's a lot better than what it was before. Yep. Yeah. So the thing is, yeah, you have to take this out of the way, just so, and the air box, just so I can get to the damn heater core hoses. If that'll work. But right now, we're just gonna feel it, see if it has coolant, see if I can feel it in my hands. Feels kind of empty. Yeah, apparently ain't. And with coolant, with not enough Dexcool in there, yeah, they could be an awful problem. Also a problem though. So, okay, there's a little bit of gunk, but it's not bad anyway. It's not like it's rusty water in there. Excuse me. And then, well, of course, here's the decal that records the Dexcool. It says, notice, let's see, use Dexcool coolant only. This vehicle has extended life coolant. Add an improper heated coolant will shorten the coolant life. Required change much sooner. If you add cooler coolant, use only Dexcool extended life coolant. See owner's manual for more information. So yeah, I mean, if the factory said to use coolant, then use coolant. That's what's recommended. Yeah. Yeah, cause, well, I mean, I got a lot of miles on this engine anyway. So I just, not too long ago, I just rolled past 217,000. Yeah, I'm trying to get this stuff situated. I probably changed maybe the valve cover gaskets. Yeah, there's a little bit of oil residue on there, but since I cleaned it out just a little bit, just so it won't look so bad. And it won't be as bad as before. Then another problem I'm having, this headlight bulb, for some reason, I don't know, there's no connection on the bulb, so you had to smack it just so you get it to turn on. I'll show you in just a minute. Alright, so that light's on. But here's another thing that's bothering me. Now, you probably saw, like, back last spring, I changed the bulbs and the white face gauges. So this morning on the way to work, I saw the whole tachometer and half the speedometer blacked out. Like those bulbs just burned out or something. So tomorrow when I have time, Probably had to check it out and see what the problem could be. So this bulb's probably burned out, but why would this bulb's burn out that fast? I had that same problem with the other bulbs I had before, those white LEDs. They lasted maybe almost 3 years. Well, 2.5 years they lasted. But when I had the problem, when it's dim, I usually smack it, knock it right there, and it'll come back on. This one, I couldn't. Yeah, so I don't know what the trouble was anyway, so most likely I had to probably take the whole instrument panel out just to get those bulbs and see what's going on with it. Because maybe it could be maybe it's not the bulbs, maybe it's something in that circuit board. And then, another problem I'm having is the fuel gauge. That's not even how much fuel I got in there. And you see I filled up almost 3 weeks ago, but since I didn't truck it that much, it's hard to see. There's like 210 miles on the tank. Yeah, when I fill up full tank, I just reset the trip meter. Yeah, I didn't drive as much as I used to, so it should last. But there's no way the fuel gauge will read like 3/4 of a tank. I'm thinking it's probably between quarter tank to half tank on one of those little lines there. That's what I'm assuming, but that's another thing. How the gauge works, this little thing in there, I don't know what they call it, it's where it holds the gauge needle. That might have to be replaced. I can't say it's the float on the fuel sending unit because that's been replaced about almost 3 years ago, so there's no way it would have gone back, because when I changed that fuel pump, the fuel gauge was still working. But this happened ever since I had the white face gauges in the bulbs. So I don't know why it's doing that, but hopefully I'll have some time tomorrow to do all that. Right now it's Saturday, so got off half a day of work. Of course, today was the Saturday I was supposed to work, which I did. But I don't want to be messing around with cars right now. Except top off that coolant anyway, just to do a little experiment. Yeah, so I mean that's some crazy stuff that's been going on with the Yukon. Yeah, and hopefully by the end of this year I get that second vehicle. I mean third vehicle. Well, I'm gonna possibly sell the Buick and then get the other vehicle. I'm looking for an S10. I mean, there's a couple good deals out there, like around $2,000 that possibly have a new clutch, new engine, and so forth. Yeah, so I just put like a little bit of, extra money to, for the registration, the insurance, and if the seller didn't get the truck inspected, then I had to go do that myself just to get that registered. And if it needs new tires, then I use that money, the extra money for tires. It has stupid looking wheels that I don't like. I use a little extra money for better looking wheels. If it needs coolant flush or flute flushes or whatever, a little bit extra money for that. Because, you don't just buy a car, the exact money they have saved, but not having extra money for stuff that, another vehicle need. I already learned that lesson already. Especially when I bought this truck it needed new brakes, front and rear, which I already got. But it took a little while to get the windshield. And then that switch lever, because the hazard light button didn't work the first time. So I had the whole thing replaced, and it worked. And then another thing would be the circuit board for the windshield wiper motor. That has to be replaced. That part I got replaced, didn't even last that long, so most likely I had to get a genuine part from AC Delco to see what happens. Another weird suspecting thing happened. My radio right here, this is the stock radio I put back a few months ago. The tuner knob is missing. I don't know how that happened. You could push the knob on it, in and out, just to hide it. But for some reason it popped out. I don't know how it popped out. It did that when I was driving. Yeah, hopefully by the beginning of this year I get, a better stereo system and then new speakers and then, that subwoofer amp setup. Yeah, so this will be all for right now. Yeah, I don't know what's going to be coming up in the next video. Halloween's coming up, but, well, I didn't make a Halloween video. I'm debating if I'm going to make a video about that or not, so just tune in.